Hey, welcome to this 30-minute kind of quick and dirty, pretty basic, but hits all body parts and all major asana groups yoga practice with me, Leigha Butler, beginning in downward facing dog to establish our ujjayi breath. Moving around as you want to, pointing your sitting bones high and spreading your fingers wide. Make friction with the back of your throat. And then wave forward with the watery element toward a plank pose, strong arms, and then right back to downward facing dog and your long exhale. Pressing heels down, and then waving forward again toward plank pose, broad collar, looking just slightly forward, and then lead with sits bones back to downward facing dog. Up onto toes, wave forward, undulate toward plank pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Heels press down. Come high onto toes, waving forward again. Plank pose, strong arms, wide collarbones. And then hips lead back to downward facing dog where the head goes heavy and the neck stays soft. We'll stretch the right leg high. Rolling this knee forward like it rides your chest. Place the foot between your hands. Let the hips sink low as the heart lifts high. Be broad through your collarbones. And then left foot will meet the right. Land in Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. And exhale toward a forward fold. Warming up the legs. I like to do it respectfully in body time. Hanging out here in Uttanasana, a little softness in the knees if there's any strain whatsoever in your back. Slow breaths. And then peek forward on your inhale. Exhale, hands to your waist. Roll the shoulders up and tip the heart up high. Finding your way to a neutral spine. Hands to Namaste. Sweep your arms up overhead. Lift your drishti, lift your heart. And then exhale, hinge down for forward fold. All the way down. Look forward, flat back. And then exhale, step your left foot back. Right foot back, plank pose. Exhale, shift chaturanga or the floor. Peeling into cobra or an upward facing dog if you're ready for it. Pressing hips to heels. I love to do it the first time. Send breath to the back body. And then come right back up for downward facing dog. Engaging the belly and sweeping the left leg high. Roll the knee in towards your chest. Let it ride your chest as you wave toward a plank and then set the foot between your hands. Hips sink low as the heart shifts high. Just feel that opening and then step forward to flat back. Exhale to bow down, Uttanasana. And hanging out, you can even shake the head a little bit. And then peel up halfway. Hands to your waist, draw the elbows behind you. And then lift all the way up. Firm belly but a lifted heart. And then a neutral spine with hands at Anjali Mudra. Let's sweep back in Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands. Exhaling to hinge forward, Uttanasana. Inhale halfway forward, flat back. And then exhale, step or float to lower down. Maybe it's chaturanga. Rolling to up dog or bhujangasana, cobra on the inhalation. And exhalation, downward facing dog. Aiming to feel every body part. And to let breath circulate in every possible bodily space. We'll get absorbed in movement and breathing. And coming high onto toes, bend the knees and step or float to the top of the mat. Land with a flat back, inhaling. And then exhale, hinge down, Uttanasana. Inhale, rising all the way up, upward hands. And then hands will slide through your chest. Let's come back in. Inhale, lift high. And then exhale, hinging all the way down. Looking forward with a flat back. And then exhale, step or float to chaturanga or lower. Rolling heart forward, then up. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, powerful legs. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, strong arms. Sweep your right leg high. Let the knee ride your chest, stepping the foot forward, grounding the back heel, and then finding warrior two. Everything works so powerful in warrior two, except the shoulders, the neck, the face. Let these be soft. Powerful Ujjayi breaths, and we'll straighten the right leg, reaching as far forward as you can. Keep the side body long as you find triangle pose. Stretch wide in every direction, but let's also feel this as a shoulder opening. So we're drawing the shoulders onto our back. And then we'll bow down over this right leg, squaring hips, stepping in just a touch, and then folding. Parsvatanasana, or pyramid pose. An opening for your right leg, even a lengthening for your back. Make sure the head is heavy. If you'd like to take it a step farther, you can interlace your fingers behind the back kneecap. Releasing our hands, soften the right knee, sweep your right leg way up behind you. And here you can set that foot down and take a regular vinyasa, or you can wave forward through a three-legged vinyasa if you'd like to do it. Exhale for chaturanga or lower. It's nice to drop the foot at that point, then roll up for urdhva mukha, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Stretching the left leg very high. And then roll that knee towards your chest as you step it forward, grounding the back heel, taking giant arms right into warrior two. Don't be afraid to work hard in warrior two. We're not here for very long, maybe 5 long breaths, no more than 8. So the muscles hug on to bone and working everywhere except trying to soften the sides of the neck and even the shoulders. The jaw. And straighten the left leg, heel toe in just a touch for triangle pose. Keep the sides of the body as long as you can as you touch down to the shin or ankle or below. The right arm stacking right on top of the left arm. Just stretch wide and long in every direction. Those strong lines of energy, but no more exertion than is necessary. And then we'll fold right over this left leg, stepping in just enough to square off at the hips, stretching chest forward, and then exhaling to fold down. And savor this opening and let it happen little by little. Even the head goes heavy. Come back to Ujjayi. If you'd like to deepen this, interlace your fingers behind the back leg. And then releasing, plant your hands, soften this front knee, sweeping the leg way up high behind you for 3-legged dog. And then if you choose to take it, a 3-legged vinyasa. You can always vinyasa in your way. Rolling with it like water, fluid movements, integrating the whole body. In your downward dog, you can roll, rocking side to side, make it your shape. Find any tensions or tightness and send movement there, breath there, heat there. And sweep the right leg up again. Roll this knee forward, plant the foot between your hands, ground the back heel, and come right into warrior two. This time straighten the right leg right away, Trikonasana. Fluid movements, bowing right over right leg, coming back to the same sequence, folding and holding. And then soften the front knee, plant your hands, sweep the right leg up behind, and vinyasa flow your way. Meeting at downward facing dog. And sweep the left leg very high. Conscious movements, but kind of fast, just linking them to breath. Step the left foot forward, ground the back heel. Find your way to warrior two. Straighten the left leg. Trikonasana, giant long exhale to find it. And then fold over the left leg, square off at the hips, step in if you need to. bowing. And then softening the left knee, planting your hands, sweeping the left leg way up behind, and finding your flow, your way. Big heart opening, shoulders draw so far back. And downward facing dog. Always returning to Ujjayi. We'll come up onto toes, bend our knees, and step or spring to the top of the mat. Landing with your heart forward, flat back, and then exhale, fold down. Ground down to rise all the way up, upward hands, and hands slide through your chest. Now take hands onto your waist as you step feet hips width apart. We'll draw the belly in as we open the chest, look up, and then exhale, hinge down, taking first 2 fingers around the big toes for Padangushtha Asana hold, looking forward first to lengthen the spine, and then exhaling to bow deeply into it. Long breaths and a soft neck. And we'll release, looking halfway forward, hands to the ground. And step or hop to Chaturanga. Heart rolls forward and up. And then downward facing dog. At downward dog, sweep the right leg high, but this time stack your hip, bend the knee, and point it as high up as you're able, keeping both sides of the waist long, drawing the left hip backward. Then we'll straighten out at the right leg, roll this knee towards your chest, hover the foot, and then sweep it right back out. Let's do that again. Right knee rolls forward, hover your right foot, this time step it down, ground the back heel. Keep your right hand low, and then reach your left arm up and across your ear line for a side angle pose, extended side angle. If you choose, you can take your right hand onto a block or a book. Let's press hard into the back foot. And then exhale, roll down, frame this foot. Step the right foot just halfway back. Now we're rolling into a rotated triangle. The left hand stays and the right arm rolls up high. Broaden through your chest as you send the right hip backward, stretching the crown forward. And soften into the right knee, shifting weight onto your left hand. Come into a side plank variation. If you can, cross the right arm over your ear line. Try arcing the body. Lift your hips high. And then roll down. Plank pose, inhale. And Vinyasa flow. Maybe inserting an extra Chaturanga after your heart opening. And then meeting at downward facing dog. And finding the breath. Sweeping the left leg high. Let's stack the hip, bend the knee, point it as high as you can. Send the right hip backward to keep the side body long. Both arms strong. And then re-extend the left leg, square off at the hips. Roll this knee forward like you're about to press your foot down, but you don't. And then sweep it back up on an inhale. Do that again, only this time we will step it all the way forward right between your hands, grounding the back heel. Keep the left fingers low as you find your Utthita Parshva Konasana, extended side angle pose. Maybe the left hand lifts onto a block or a book. Long side body. Long breath. And then roll your right hand down. Scoot the left foot back just enough. Straighten both legs, and we're rolling right into a rotating triangle. So the left arm lifts. The left hip shoots back, and we're nice and broad through the chest, reaching long through the arms. Rolling out of it through a side plank. So the right hand stays as we soften the left knee and step that foot back. Any variation you like. If you did it last time, cross the left arm over your ear, arc your body, lift your hips. And then roll down to plank pose, taking a Vinyasa flow. Could hit chaturanga one more time for the heat, and then press back, downward facing dog. 3 long breaths at downward facing dog. And then undulate all the way forward to plank pose, lowering all the way onto your belly. Interlace the hands behind the back body, lifting the knuckles off. Lift your heart forward, draw the shoulders as far back as you can. At first, keeping the legs really heavy. Opening the sides of the shoulders, the pecs. And then plant your hands underneath the breastbone. Come back to downward facing dog. Sweeping the right leg high. Hop, switch the right foot forward if you choose to, otherwise step the foot all the way forward. We're finding warrior 1. Feed yourself from the ground all the way up through your fingertips, pointing the gaze and the heart higher and higher. And then drop the right arm. Use that hand as leverage to take a twist off to the right, hooking the left elbow, drawing the hands into your heart. Now, if you can keep that back heel down, keep it down, but if it needs to roll up, let it roll up. If you love arm variations, grab them quick. Hug in the belly, come back up for warrior 1, and then open out wide for warrior 2. Straightening the right leg, tip back, reverse triangle. You can look down at the back foot, soften through the neck as the side body opens. We'll parallel both feet, reach the arms up, and then exhale to fold down, hands shoulder width for Prasarita Padottanasana A. If your head hits the ground, walk the feet in a little closer to get a maximum opening for the hamstrings, pointing the sits bones higher and higher. You're totally welcome to keep it right here in a forward fold, benefiting from the hamstring stretch, or if you like to go upside down in any way, from tripod headstand to forearm press practice to handstand press practice, consider this your practice and take it where it wants to go. In keeping with the watery element, I'm going to pick up and just wave my legs a little bit left and right, and that's something you can try if you like. Maybe at the wall. We spend a little less than a minute upside down here. If you're in your wide-legged fold, feel free to come out at any time, come halfway up for air, and then you can always reverse your grip or switch your grip, taking yogi toe hold, first 2 fingers on the big toes, setting your elbows wide. And then we'll all meet with the chest forward, inhaling. And then exhale, walk over to frame the right foot. Sweeping the right leg up way behind you, take the vinyasa of your choosing. I'm going to lower all the way down for cobra, just because I love that heart opening. There's nothing that feels like it. Meeting at downward facing dog. And try the same thing. We're going to lift the left leg. You're welcome to take a giant hop, switch in the air, or just step that left foot between your hands. But either way, we'll end up in Virabhadrasana 1 together with the left foot forward, stretching the arms up high. Feed yourself from the ground all the way up. Trace a line from the inner feet, up through the heart, past the gaze, past the fingertips. So the energy seems to grow lighter and lighter. And we'll release the left hand, use it as leverage to take your twist to the left now, hooking this right elbow, working the hands into the center of your chest. Keep the chest as broad as you can and draw the shoulders onto your back as much as you can. Pressing down through the back heel. Find the sweetness in your opening. And then draw your navel in as you swivel back up for warrior 1. And exhale. Open out wide. Warrior 2 before a reverse triangle. The left leg straightens. You can even peek down at the right foot to soften through the neck as the side body opens. Then parallel the feet, reach your arms up. And then hands to the waist. We'll peel the heart all the way up and then hinge forward. Taking a forward fold here again, and you can work any variation that you'd like to take. I'm going to be working on a few handstand hops, so you're welcome to join me if you like. You can pause it to play around if you want to. You can sustain this forward fold again, this time perhaps interlacing fingers behind your back so you can get the rotator cuffs in as well as the hamstrings. If you're taking the handstand hops, really super strong arms that are locked out and moving toward one another. Shoulder girdle gets really wide, and there's a little melting of your heart that happens, though not all the way down. And then we'll bring it back into our forward fold, looking forward, folding in, and then walking hands over to frame the left foot. Sweep the left leg high behind you, and we'll move together, waving toward a plank pose, and then lowering all the way down onto your belly, so we can find another belly down, a little back bend. This time reverse prayer if you have it. If it's not quite working, take knuckle to knuckle, or even grab hold of your own forearms. Heart goes forward and up as you lift the shoulders, and move the neck backward. After a few more breaths, you can add the legs as well. Keep them about hips width apart. Keep them locked and straight. And then activate the back body to lift up high in this version of shavasana. And get one more big inhale to lift as high as you can. And then exhale, release, rest a cheek, even rock out the hips to soften. Preparing for another back bend from our bellies, bending the knees and reaching back for bow pose. If you can, take hands to the inner ankles, and then when you kick back and lift up, experience this as a pec minor opening, little corpus brachialis, that little muscle that supports the bicep. You can trace the inner shoulder and just experience space there, the creation of it. And then release. Rest the other cheek, get soft. Even sway the hips if it feels good. And plant your hands underneath the chest and press right back into downward facing dog. From downward dog, tighten it up a little bit. Come high onto your toes, bend your knees, and step or hop through to sit all the way down. Finding Paschimottanasana, sweep your arms up high, achieve a little back bend if you're able to, and keep a long spine as you tip forward, and then acclimate to the fold little by little, and let the breath carry you in deeper and deeper. A few more breaths here in forward fold. Working the depth of it. And we'll come on up. And cross the left ankle over your right ankle. Keep the legs as straight as you can, a little flexion at the ankles, and then fold back in. This is to isolate the left IT band that runs all along the outer edge of your left leg, connecting into the glutes. So important, especially if you cross-train, any running or cycling, hiking, anything that tightens your hips and legs. And to come out of this, let's open the left leg really wide, and we'll find our Upavishta legs, wide angle. Be with it anywhere from perfectly tall all the way to belly down, but aim for a long low back. And so if you feel like you're rounding into the low back at all, definitely sit up or get a blanket or some height underneath your sit bones. Point the kneecaps up, the toes up, and let the opening just take place slowly. And peeling yourself right back up. Let's close off the right leg, crossing that ankle over the left ankle now, flexing the feet again. Find length in spine and legs, and then fold all the way down. This time isolating the right IT band. The more you flex your feet, the more you'll feel this. You can make it subtly deeper too by stretching the right hip backward. And come all the way up. Bend the knees, make space behind you. For a little bit of core work, we'll take half boat to start. Then we'll lie almost all the way back. Shoulder blade tips just barely touch. And then come right back up to either a half boat or a full boat. And we'll do that 7 more times. Inhale to expand. Exhale, sit up boat. Inhale, Ardha Navasana, lying back. Exhale, boat pose. Lie back, inhale. Exhale, boat with the heart up. Inhale, back. Exhale, boat. Inhale, lie back. Exhale, boat, shoulders back. And then again, inhale, look up. Exhale, heart up. And then squeeze your knees in, cross your ankles. And then take the vinyasa flow of your choosing. And find your way to downward facing dog. Sweep your right leg high, and drawing this knee in, tap your right tricep and see if you can extend your right leg off to the side for Kundinyasana prep. Do it again. Inhale, sweep the leg up, and then take the knee in. Can you extend that leg off to the side? Last one, an option to go right into Ekapada Kundinyasana if you'd like to. Reach all the way forward, chaturanga arms, powerful back leg, and then step out, swing the leg back. And then we'll send this right knee forward. Set it down as though you're headed toward pigeon, except we'll cross the left leg all the way over and set ourselves up for Gomukhasana legs instead. Knee stacking on knee. If you need a little height under your seat, a pillow or blanket is perfect. You can add Gomukhasana arms. The right arm is up top bent, the left arm underneath. Sit as tall as you're able, open the chest, and then tip forward with this. Keeping some life and lift in the elbows. If you choose, you can release your hands, now breathing to the outer hips. And then sitting up, we're going to prepare for ankle to knee pose or double pigeon. I'm just going to face you to show it with shin bones parallel to one another. Otherwise, we don't get much from it. Make sure to stack one foot on the opposite knee. Flexing the feet, and then taking your time to fold forward with it. It's as though we can direct our prana to the places that need it. And if we're not pushing too hard, then the body is willing to open for us. And come on, back up. And crossing ankles, hugging the knees in. Let's shoot through Vinyasa. You can always skip them. And we'll end up back in downward facing dog. Stretch this left leg high. Tap the knee to your left tricep. Maybe you can kick that leg off to the side if there's room. Knee taps the left tricep. Maybe you can kick off to the side. And then last time, hit the Kundinyasana 2 if you'd like it. Knee taps, leg stretches, powerful lifted back leg. It's glute work. And then sweep your left leg up behind you. I'm going to draw this knee forward and set it down. It's going to look like pigeon for a second, except that we'll swing to the left, wrap the right leg around, and stack knee on knee for gomukh legs, cow-faced pose. A little height under the seat can really be helpful. Lift the left arm up, and we'll make the top elbow bend and the bottom elbow bend, taking a grip on fingers if you can reach, otherwise shirt, strap, belt, whatever you have. Open the chest, and then tip forward. And actively lifting the elbows, even though sometimes that exertion isn't really wanted. After some time, if you'd like, release your arms. Circulating breath to the outer hips and the lower back. Sitting up, let's shift back into our double pigeon, stacking the right leg on the left leg with shins parallel to one another and the feet flexing. You can sit tall with it, and in time, fold forward, being sure to check in, make sure the hips are ready for each new phase of depth. Breathe easy. Then sitting up, we'll draw the knees right into the chest, crossing ankles. You can roll forward, hop forward, any way you'd like through Vinyasa. And finding your way into your downward facing dog. Then setting left elbow down, followed by right. Drop your head, and we're going to prepare for Shavasana A, a headstand. You're welcome to float right up here at the middle of the mat, or to pause it and come over to the wall. I'm going to make some funky leg variations again. Just find this fluid, flowing feeling. Bending my knees, finding a subtle little back bend, and then drawing the knees into my chest, extending the legs, and it's like circular motions, clearing out tensions in the body. And then stepping out, let's place the hands back on the mat, finding downward facing dog. Pressing the heart toward your toes, and come high onto toes, bend the knees, and step or spring to sit all the way down in Dandasana shape. We're going to lie right back, planting our feet, and setting up for our back bend practice. Starting in bridge pose, lifting the hips, grounding down through the heels, and keeping the knees energetic. If you'd like to move your bridge right into a wheel, if you're feeling ready for Urdhva Dhanurasana, you can do that. Plant your hands first, situate your head, and then lift on up and feel this opening right through the heart. Taking 10 more breaths in my back bend to refine it, feel the subtleties in it, stretch my limbs longer in it. If that's too long, of course, come out, maybe even come back in. But we're headed toward the end of the practice now. Let's draw the chin in toward the chest and slowly lower, hugging the knees in, rocking side to side. And taking some final twists before our Shavasana. We'll cross the right leg over the left. Let the knees drop to the left as we look over to the right. And then switch sides, left leg crosses over, knees draped to the right as we look left, shoulders heavy. And then finally, knees back to center. Any last shifting you'd like to take before your Shavasana, our final relaxation. The video goes on for 2 more minutes. Please do take a shavasana, however long a duration you need. Rest in the quiet your practice has created. Merging as much as you can with your surroundings. Thank you for watching, yogis. Namaste.